Arsenal's pursuit of Newcastle United captain Bruno Guimarães has received a major boost following Eddie Howe's surprise departure from St James' Park. With reports suggesting Howe expected the Brazilian midfielder to leave this summer, the Gunners appear to be edging closer to completing one of their biggest transfer deals. Meanwhile, Mikel Arteta has also provided a positive fitness update on Declan Rice ahead of the new Premier League season, adding to the growing optimism around Arsenal's preparations. Eddie Howe leaves Newcastle as Arsenal continue to chase Bruno. Eddie Howe's departure could reshape Newcastle's summer, and Arsenal's determination to land Bruno Guimarães shows no sign of FA. Arsenal's pursuit of Bruno Guimarães could take on added significance after it was announced that Eddie Howe has decided to leave Newcastle United with immediate effect. Howe has chosen to step down, with Matthias Gisel, currently with Al Ahly, owned by the same people as own the Magpies, emerging as the leading candidate to replace him, with the development following a turbulent summer at Newcastle that has seen a number of Arsenal's interest in Guimaraes predates the latest developments at St James' Park and remains rooted in the club's desire to strengthen their midfield, as well as the Brazilians' reported willingness to consider a move. Still, this appears as if it could hold Mikel Arteta. The biggest obstacle has been Newcastle's determination to keep one of their most influential players, as is their right. They have already rejected approaches from Arsenal and, under Howe, remained reluctant to sanction a sale, due to significant player turnover already this summer, with Anthony Gordon joining Barcelona and Sandro Tonali moving to Tottenham. Howe's departure, coupled with the player's desire to become a Gunner, could, however, finally open the door for Arsenal. Asked about Bruno last night, before it was announced he was leaving, he reportedly said, "What will be, before admitting he had lost control of transfers. Luke Edwards, Newcastle reporter for The Telegraph who accused Arsenal of disrespect for submitting a bid for the player on the day that Kevin Keegan's death was announced, added, "Howe believed Bruno Guimarães will be sold this summer." The final straw. Speaking ahead of the campaign, Mikel Arteta made it clear Arsenal intend to strengthen further as they look to build a squad capable of reaching another level. A lot is happening. From ownership to the board, the sporting director and myself, we want to take this club to a different level, he said. That is going to require a better squad and better individuals. We have identified where we have opportunities to grow and improve and evolve our game and what is going to be needed to achieve that. Hopefully very soon we can start to put things in a very concrete way. Excellence has to be our standard, the way we behave daily with more and more determination and ambition. We have to show we belong at this level and want to increase and take this club to a different dimension. Arsenal closing in on £80 million signing following shock development. Arsenal's pursuit of Bruno Guimarães appears to be moving firmly in the right direction, with the latest developments at Newcastle United providing perhaps the clearest indication yet that the Brazilian could be on his way to North London. Talks surrounding a deal have progressed throughout July, with Arsenal exploring the conditions required to sign the Newcastle captain. Sky Sports previously reported that Guimarães had informed Newcastle of his desire to join Arsenal, while discussions over the structure and finances of a potential transfer have taken place through intermediaries. Newcastle have publicly maintained that they do not want to sell the 28-year-old, but their position looks increasingly difficult to maintain. Guimarães has 2 years remaining on his contract, plus an option for another season, and Arsenal have been testing whether Newcastle's resistance can finally be broken. The most significant development may have arrived on Thursday morning, with the Telegraph reporting that Eddie Howe has decided to leave Newcastle. According to Luke Edwards, Howe had become increasingly frustrated by the loss of key players and the direction of the squad. Crucially, from an Arsenal perspective, Howe is said to believe that Newcastle will eventually sell Guimarães to Arsenal this summer. The prospect of losing his captain, following several other major departures, was reportedly a significant factor behind Howe's decision to walk away. That does not mean a deal is completed, but it is difficult to ignore what the news suggests. Howe was one of the people at Newcastle most determined to retain Guimarães, and if the outgoing manager himself expected the midfielder to be sold, Arsenal may now be approaching the final stages of a transfer they have been working towards for several weeks. The Gunners have admired Guimarães for years, but the opportunity has become far more realistic this summer. There has been uncertainty around the eventual fee. Newcastle have resisted suggestions that Guimarães could leave cheaply, despite Arsenal initially receiving encouragement over the financial conditions of a deal. Whatever the final figure, the direction of travel now looks increasingly clear. The Gunners were initially linked with a £60 million move, but the price point now looks like it will be closer to £80 million, perhaps £75 million plus £5 million. For Arsenal, Guimaraes would add another proven Premier League midfielder capable of playing as a 6 or 8, bringing aggression, technical quality and experience to a midfield already containing Declan Rice, Miles Lewis-Skelly and Martin Zubimendi. There is still work to do, but Howe's departure feels significant, coupled with the recent reports of Arsenal upping their bid. If Newcastle's manager was already planning for a future without Guimaraes, Arsenal may finally be closing in on one of their longest-standing transfer targets. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta delivers Declan Rice fitness update. Mikel Arteta has allayed fears over Declan Rice's fitness and revealed the midfielder is pushing to make his return for Arsenal's pre-season. Rice endured a somewhat frustrating World Cup campaign with England after limping out of the side's group stage clash with Ghana with heavy strapping on his left calf. It later emerged that Rice was suffering with a neural issue affecting his hamstring and lower back, which left him bedbound for 3 days prior to England's quarter-final win over Norway. After being substituted at the halfway stage against Erling Haaland and co., Rice returned to play 82 minutes of the Three Lions semi-final defeat to Argentina. It was in England's bronze medal victory that Rice appeared to be playing at somewhere near his best again, opening the scoring with a third-minute stunner before seeing out the entirety of the 10-goal thriller. With attentions quickly shifting to the new Premier League season, there have been some suggestions Rice may require a prolonged break to remove the risk of aggravating any underlying issues. But speaking to the media on Wednesday, ahead of Arsenal's upcoming friendly with Girona, Arteta lifted the lid on the positive conversations he had been having with the former West Ham star. "We have 3 different pre-seasons with different groups, but the most important thing is the attitude," the Arsenal head coach told reporters. "When I speak to Declan Rice, he is already saying, okay, if I come this day, then I can play then. That is much more powerful than the program. We want to adapt to the context, which is different." Asked to describe the mood in the camp in Italy, Arteta added, "First of all, I saw the energy in the bodies, in their eyes, how they look. And then the players, it was incredible, the shape that they have all come back, better than ever. That tells you the direction that we want to seek and the culture that we have set. Then the way they are training, the questions that they ask you, the direction that they want to take. They are all super powerful signs. It's great to see everybody again with the same spirit after such a big season. To see everybody coming back in the building with such energy and desire to go again is really touching." Arteta was keen to reassure fans that he and his squad had a renewed sense of determination and motivation on the back of club's Premier League title triumph last season. 100%. This has to be the start and this has to be the standard. Excellence has to be our standard and this has to drive to attack the future. The way we behave daily with more and more determination and ambition because we've shown that we've got it. Now we have to show that we belong to this level and we want to increase and take this football club to a different dimension. The Spaniard added, "My ambition is that daily we nail the standards and the requirements on the day to be better the following day. That is the thing that we have to control. And maintaining that ambition, that discipline, that commitment and that positive energy through 11 months. The departure of Eddie Howe could prove to be a defining moment in Arsenal's pursuit of Bruno Guimarães. While Newcastle have remained determined to keep their captain, recent developments suggest their position may finally be softening, bringing Arsenal closer to securing one of Mikel Arteta's top midfield targets. Combined with encouraging news over Declan Rice's fitness and the club's ambition to strengthen further, Arsenal head into the new campaign with confidence and the possibility of another blockbuster signing on the horizon.